Right now, there is a Social Security benefit your spouse may be legally entitled to collect every single month that neither of you has ever been told about. Not because you are ineligible, because the Social Security Administration does not volunteer this information. It does not screen your household for unclaimed benefits. It does not compare your spouse's record to yours. It processes exactly what you file for. And if you file for the wrong thing, it pays the smaller amount indefinitely without ever mentioning that a larger one was available. Before we continue, every form, every deadline, every exemption I just walked you through, I've put it all in one place. State by state, form by form, laid out so any senior can find exactly what applies to them in under 5 minutes. It's called the Senior Benefits Playbook. It's in the first pinned comment right below this video. Tap it once, and you'll have everything you need. Now stay right here because the next section is the one most people miss. The benefit is called the spousal benefit. Under 42 U.S.C. Section 402, a spouse is entitled to receive up to 50% of the higher earning spouse's primary insurance amount. That is the benefit calculated at full retirement age. Not the reduced amount if they filed early, and not the increased amount if they delayed to 70. 50% of the primary insurance amount. In 2026, the maximum primary insurance amount for a worker at full retirement age is $4,152 per month. 50% of that is $2,076. That is over $2,000 a month that a qualifying spouse can collect. And the SSA will never bring it up unless you ask. My name is Thomas. I study the federal benefit rules that affect seniors and retirees. The rules that government agencies will not explain to you unless you already know the right questions to ask. And this benefit, the spousal benefit, is the single most underclaimed category I come across. Not because people do not qualify, because no one inside the system is required to tell them they do. Let me show you how this works and what it costs when it is missed. Consider a couple named Robert and Vivian. Robert is 69. He worked as a plant manager for 37 years, and his Social Security benefit at full retirement age is $3,600 per month. Vivian is 67. She spent 22 years as a part-time office administrator and then left the workforce to care for her aging mother. Her own Social Security benefit, based on her earnings record, is $710 per month. Vivian filed for her own retirement benefit at 62 because a representative at the SSA told her she was eligible and walked her through the application. That representative did not ask whether Vivian was married. Did not ask whether her spouse had a higher earnings record. Did not mention the spousal benefit or explain that Vivian might qualify for a substantially larger monthly payment. Nobody at the SSA mentioned it. Nobody flagged the gap. Under the spousal benefit formula, Vivian is entitled to 50% of Robert's primary insurance amount, which is $1,800 per month. That is over $1,000 more than what she is currently receiving every single month. Over 10 years, that gap adds up to more than $120,000. Vivian was never denied this benefit. She simply never filed for it because no one told her it existed. Here is why this happens. The SSA does not automatically apply spousal benefits to your account. It does not audit married couples to determine whether one spouse would receive more under the other's record. When Vivian called to file for Social Security at 62, the representative processed her retirement application based on her own earnings history. That is what she asked for. That is what she received. The spousal benefit is a separate calculation. While the deemed filing rule now requires the SSA to evaluate both your own benefit and your spousal benefit when you apply, the agency does not go back and reevaluate if you filed years ago. And critically, if Vivian filed at 62, her spousal benefit was permanently reduced. She received 32.5% of Robert's primary insurance amount instead of the full 50%. That is the cost of filing early. No one at the SSA is required to explain that trade-off before you make the decision. Here's the rule that catches most couples off guard. The higher earning spouse must already be receiving their Social Security benefit before the lower earning spouse can claim the spousal benefit. If Robert delays his filing until age 70 to maximize his own check, Vivian cannot collect the spousal benefit during those years of delay. She is locked out until he files. For some couples, that means 3, 4, even 5 years of a spousal benefit sitting uncollected while the higher earner waits. Many couples plan for the higher earner to delay, which is often smart for survivor benefit purposes, without realizing that the delay also blocks the spousal benefit for the other spouse entirely. That is a trade-off. The SSA does not flag, and most financial advisors do not mention unless you specifically ask. The lost income during those delay years can total tens of thousands of dollars. Here is another rule most married couples get wrong. The spousal benefit does not increase if the higher earning spouse delays past full retirement age. Robert's own benefit grows by 8% per year between full retirement age and 70 thanks to delayed retirement credits. But Vivian's spousal benefit is permanently capped at 50% of Robert's primary insurance amount. It does not matter if Robert waits until 70 and his own check grows to $4,400. Vivian's spousal benefit stays at $1,800. The delayed retirement credits that increase Robert's check do not pass through to Vivian's spousal benefit. They only pass through to the survivor benefit after Robert dies. That distinction between spousal and survivor benefits is one of the most expensive misunderstandings in the entire Social Security system. Couples hear that delaying increases the benefit and assume that increase applies across the board. It does not. The spousal benefit caps at full retirement age. Period. The only benefit that grows from delaying past full retirement age is the worker's own retirement benefit, and, after they die, the survivor benefit their spouse will receive. If you are making a filing decision based on the assumption that delaying helps the spousal benefit, you are making it on wrong information. There is one more group that almost always misses this. Divorced spouses. If you were married for at least 10 years and you are currently unmarried, you may be entitled to a spousal benefit based on your former spouse's earnings record. Your ex-spouse does not need to know. Your ex-spouse does not need to consent. Their benefit is not reduced in any way. Their current spouse's benefit is not affected in any way. And if you have been divorced for at least 2 continuous years, you can claim even if your ex-spouse has not yet filed for their own benefit, as long as they are at least 62 and eligible. A recent nationwide survey found that 50% of adults incorrectly believed that divorced spouses are not eligible for any Social Security benefits based on a former spouse's record. Half the country does not know this benefit exists. The SSA will never tell you this. You must ask. Here are your action steps. Execute them in order. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and pull up your most recent benefit statement. Look at the monthly amount listed under retirement benefits. If you are the lower earner in your household, compare that number to 50% of your spouse's full retirement age benefit. If 50% of their amount is higher than yours, you may be entitled to a spousal benefit. Step 2. Call the Social Security Administration at 1-877-21213. Tell the representative you are married and you want a written comparison of your current retirement benefit against the spousal benefit you would receive based on your spouse's record. Use that exact phrasing. Write down the representative's name and the date of the call. Step 3. If you have not yet filed for Social Security, do not file until you understand the spousal benefit calculation. Filing early permanently reduces both your own retirement benefit and your spousal benefit. At 62, your spousal benefit drops from 50% to 32.5% of your spouse's primary insurance amount. That reduction is permanent. There is no way to undo it once you file. Step 4. If you are divorced, were married for at least 10 years, and are currently unmarried, call the SSA and ask whether you qualify for a divorced spousal benefit. Bring your marriage certificate, your divorce decree, and your former spouse's Social Security number if you have it. The Social Security Administration processes what you file. It does not optimize your household income. It does not compare your options. It does not tell you that a larger benefit exists. That is your responsibility. Now you know the benefit exists. File for it before the gap gets wider.